I wanted to touch on the poll question yesterday. Should people's Google searches be private? Was the question. Should they? For sure. If people believe that they are, they should not. The cynic in me, and forgive me for presupposing, but if we are a POTUS audience, we have a cynic gene in all of us. So the cynic in me says, why wouldn't Big Brother be watching at every step of the way? It's so easily accessible. You guys know my fondness for Alan Dershowitz. As a criminal defense attorney, in most cases, he does not take notes given a client's case. The way he operates, or the way a lot of people operate, is never write something down unless you want everyone to read it. And that applies into the digital age. I can't imagine really any of us, any one of us being on my channel, the POTUS audience, a Smerconish follower, not thinking that every digital footprint is going to be exposed to everybody. There are tracks you can take, or there are steps you can take, such as mixing up your ISP, VPN, using Proton Mail instead of your regular email, using DuckDuckGo, and so on and so on. I'm pretty sure I even made a video in that regard. And there are steps you can do to make it harder. But should your Google searches feel private? I don't know. They should be private, but you shouldn't expect them to be. That's my nuanced answer at the very least. Sean Nichols, hilarious. You had a wedding last night. How do your wife feel about that? Well, I went with my wife. How's that? Okay. I'm waiting for the Michael Smerconish poll question though, regarding the Tucker Carlson Mike Huckabee interview. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go into any further detail. Okay. I wanted to also say my pitch regarding Hillary Clinton's testimony regarding the Epstein files. She sat down for 6.5 hours testifying about that. First of all, it's a charade that she was there. It's a charade that her husband's going to be there. And I'd much rather Congress do, I don't know, real work. But I remember from her, I believe it was Benghazi testimony or her confirmation hearing, one or the other. She was a master of, I do not recall. Of course, that's the cop-out answer for people who don't want to risk a charge of perjury in case something comes up to the contrary of their testimony. So from Fox News's coverage, she did not recall plenty of things. And I don't understand what Congress or the Republicans wanted to get out of it, given that it wasn't public. To my knowledge, it wasn't public. And they couldn't get a soundbite, anything like that. Sean Nichols, I believe the do not recall defense was pioneered by Richard Nixon, was it not? I believe it was. But listen, I vividly remember one of those testimonies that she stood before Congress, and I was like, wow, that's the ultimate cop-out. Do not recall. I want to take the second headline today and go with Paramount will buy Warner Brothers. Netflix bowed out of buying Warner Brothers yesterday. Paramount buying Warner Brothers is, I guess, a further consolidation of what's happening in our media landscape. I'd be interested to see what the regulatory effects are and if this is going to go through. That I don't really care for the business end of it, but what I do care for is how much more consolidation can the big media market take before it just becomes completely monolithic or diametric. I also wanted to say was very interesting how the New York City mayor hopped in to the White House yesterday, the day after, or a couple days after the State of the Union. Here's something. ICE, or officers from the Department of Homeland Security, which I don't even know what the hell the deal is now, whether they're funded, not funded. I've been speaking to people at airports where PreCheck is closed or Clear is closed or whatever it is. DHS officers showed up at Columbia University. And according to New York's governor and the president of the school made misrepresentations to Columbia to get into the school and to, quote, find a missing person. It ended up being that they were going after an illegal alien, maybe, or somebody out with a warrant, and they apprehended them. So, I mean, what, 6 to 10 hours after that happened, Mamdani was at the White House, and he expressed to Trump that he wants that student back. I thought the days of ICE going after these campus students, college students, were largely over.